So when you hear the word Ethereum, your mind probably jumps to cryptocurrency, maybe a rival to Bitcoin. But honestly, that's just scratching the surface. What we're really talking about today is something much, much bigger. We're looking at Ethereum as a brand new foundational layer of the internet, a kind of world computer that's already changing everything from how we handle money to how we own art. Let's pull back the curtain and see what's really going on.
Here's the game plan. First, we'll nail down what Ethereum actually is. Then we'll explore the incredible world of apps being built on it. After that, we'll get into the investment side of things, but we'll also get real about the risks involved. And finally, we'll take a look at what the future holds for this amazing technology.
All right, let's dive right in. To really get a handle on Ethereum's power, you have to look past the price charts. You have to see why it's so much more than just digital cash.
To understand the sheer scale we're dealing with, just look at that number. That's the market cap of the entire Ethereum network. It is a massive economic engine, which tells you right away that something of serious value is being created here. So, what is it? What's all the fuss about?
Well, here's the big idea. Bitcoin is basically digital gold. Ethereum, on the other hand, is a platform. Think of it less like a digital coin and more like a global, decentralized app store that anyone can build on and no one can shut down. The network's currency, Ether, is the fuel, they call it gas, that you need to pay to run anything on this incredible world computer.
And this brings us to Ethereum's secret sauce, the smart contract. The best way to think about it is like a high-tech vending machine. You put your money in, you make a selection, and the machine automatically gives you what you paid for. No cashier, no middleman. Smart contracts do exactly that, but for really complex agreements. It's just code that executes exactly as it's told, cutting out all the slow, expensive, and let's be honest, often mistake-prone people in the middle.
You know, for years, a huge knock against crypto was its insane energy consumption.
Well, Ethereum tackled that problem head-on with a massive historic upgrade they called the merge. It switched its whole security model to something called proof of stake. Long story short, it's less like a bunch of computers in a power-guzzling race and more like a lottery where holding ETH gives you a ticket to validate transactions. This one move, and it was a big one, slashed its energy use by over 99%. A huge barrier to mainstream adoption, just gone.
So, if Ethereum is this programmable world computer, what are people actually building with it? Let's take a look at some of the truly game-changing applications out there.
The first and biggest area by far is Decentralized Finance, or DeFi. And the goal here is frankly audacious. It's to rebuild our entire financial system, lending, borrowing, trading, you name it, but without any banks. And with nearly 60% of all DeFi activity happening on its network, Ethereum is without a doubt the center of this new financial universe.
But it's not just finance, not by a long shot. The whole ecosystem is just exploding with innovation. You've got NFTs creating true digital ownership for the first time. You've got giant firms like BlackRock using it to put real-world assets on the blockchain. We're even seeing these new kinds of internet-native organizations called DAOs that are run entirely by code and community votes. It's a true Cambrian explosion of ideas.
Now, with all of this groundbreaking stuff being built, it's no surprise that people aren't just using Ethereum, they're investing in it. So let's unpack the main reasons why someone would want to buy and hold ETH.
When things are growing, the market shows incredible faith in Ethereum. I mean, look at this. During one recent month, it just blew past Bitcoin. This shows a growing belief that Ethereum's value isn't just about speculation, it's directly tied to the real-world use and growth of all those applications we just talked about.
Another huge draw is staking. Basically, by locking up your ETH to help keep the network secure, you can earn rewards. You can really just think of it like earning interest in a savings account. And get this, with over a quarter of all ETH currently being staked, it's not only creating passive income for people, but it's also taking a lot of ETH off the market, which creates some real supply and demand pressure.
The big takeaway here is that this is no longer a niche hobby for tech nerds. Big money is officially in the building. Regulated ETFs have opened the floodgates for institutional capital, major corporations are putting ETH on their balance sheets, and a clearer regulatory picture is giving huge investors the green light to jump in. To put it simply, Wall Street has arrived.
But, all that amazing potential comes with a pretty big dose of reality. To get the full picture, we have to look at the very real risks and challenges that Ethereum is facing. Just let that number sink in for a second. In just one 6-month period, that's how much money was lost to hacks and scams on the Ethereum network. It is a stark, unavoidable reminder that we are still in the early, kind of Wild West phase of this whole thing, and security is a massive, massive concern.
And it's not just about hacks. Ethereum is fighting a battle on multiple fronts. You've got fierce competitors like Solana that are popping up, promising to be faster and cheaper. The global regulatory scene is still a confusing mess of different rules, which creates a ton of uncertainty. And, of course, the price itself is notoriously volatile. This is not an investment for the faint of heart.
So with all these hurdles, how does Ethereum actually plan to win this race and get ready for a future with billions of users? Well, the answer is in its development roadmap.
What's absolutely crucial to understand is that Ethereum is not a finished product. It's constantly evolving. The team has a very clear plan to dramatically ramp up speed and slash costs. Upgrades like ZK EVMs and sharding are designed to take Ethereum from handling maybe a few dozen transactions per second to potentially millions. That is how you get to true global scale.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the whole journey we've been talking about. What started out as this wild, radical experiment is now being seriously woven into the fabric of the global financial system. It's a powerful story of maturation, watching a niche idea grow into what could be the world's next critical piece of infrastructure.
So, all of this brings us to the fundamental question, the one that really matters. With its incredible utility and growing adoption, Ethereum is making a powerful case to become the permanent digital bedrock for decades to come. But with such fierce competition and very real risks, you have to ask, is it the future, or is it just a brilliant stepping stone to whatever comes next? For now, only time will tell.